to the Church of Thomas. Giving Thanks, 11/18/07. With the holiday of Thanksgiving coming, it seems to call for a summation of our year, our harvest, so to speak. There are many things that are the results of our efforts this last year. Some of the things in our lives have been gifts from others. Some are our harvests that have been good, and some have not been good at all. In the Northern Hemisphere, there is a last harvest of the year. All the crops have been gathered. They are being cured to last us through the long winter to come. The crops that can be dried are sorted and cured so that they can stay fresh the rest of the winter. In times past, winter could be a time of rest and strengthening for the next year. If our crops fell short of expectations, we suffered. We may have met with hardship, making our grain silos echo half empty. In these times, our rest is disturbed by worry and thoughts of starvation. As a farmer, I know the vagaries of growing food. If all goes too well, you hope there's a market for all that extra. If everyone has too much, it usually costs more to ship it away than the price you can receive. When you plant, you count on some losses. As a result, you add more planting to your assessment to balance the probable losses. In times where everything goes wrong, there may not be anything to harvest. If it is a severe time of belt tightening, you may not have even enough to feed your family, let alone sell for cash. Luxuries of store-bought are out of your reach. In good years, there are enough for your family, plus extra to sell at a reasonable price. These balanced years are wonderful experiences. It makes memories that tide us over when the other two kinds of harvest come into our life. Agriculture made leisure time possible. When we were nomads, there was never a downtime to rest. Planning could only be done for the next move. It was never a plan for next year. Agriculture also tied people to one place. It was very hard to pull up your home and walk away from a bad situation. You always dreaded the lean years, but you stuck it out. I see an interesting trend lately. We are returning to nomad ways of life. Fewer people farm. People move a lot in modern times. Food is generally steady in the developed world. There is always a farmer in a different hemisphere to grow bananas when snow covers our ground. The good part is we can leave bad situations much more readily. The bad part is that we cannot connect in communities much anymore. We have also started looking at plastic wrapped food as food. There are kids I have met that think that they were created that way. They do not know that something died to feed them. Wasting food is very common. How can a child value food when they are fed constantly? I do not advocate starving children. I'm just making an observation. In my life, I have talked with many people. Some had never wanted anything that was not within easy reach. Small delays in their want was very hard on them. They felt it was unfair and a great hardship. I've also met people who have had to strive for luxuries. The basics came easily enough to them. They were impatient as well, but seemed to get much more satisfaction from the luxuries when they saved enough to get them. There have also been people who rarely had enough. A filling meal was a luxury for them. They fell into two distinct groups. The first group were like starving wolves. When the bounty arrived, they fought tooth and nail to keep it. They appreciated it on one level only, that they had won it by strength of arms. They often felt a sense of entitlement to the bounty. Thoughts of others never entered the equation. The second group was just as deprived, but for some reason they felt it was a wonderful gift. They savored it. They took their time to share it. They had seen the pit and were happy to be in the light again. Their appreciation is palpable in their actions. I've known hunger. It did not keep me from sharing when I could. Those that get what they want too easily are to be pitied. They will never savor anything. Appreciation comes from not having. There is great satisfaction in earning what you want. You will value it more than if it was handed to you on a silver platter.
Those that have nothing have the greatest gift of all that they can find, the wonder and the bounty they do receive. This lesson goes for life as well. To appreciate God, sometimes you have to walk in the dark a while. The gift of God's love is free. At this holiday, you are looking at what lessons you have had this last year. You're sifting through your harvest. All of us have had chaff mixed in with our grain. In truth, we cannot really know the extent of our harvest until the winnowing is complete. Until the chaff is gone from the grain, it's just a pile of plant material. Grain has a tough protective outer covering. It protects the grain from insects and disease. It shelters the grain from moisture extremes. The problem for us is it can't be digested. It has sharp edges. It takes grinding the grain very difficult. If left on, it can make it very difficult to cook and get nutrition from the grain it encases. To break the grain loose, it has to be flailed. If the grain is not ripe, it just mashes. If it is too moist, it cannot be winnowed until it has dried. When the flailing is complete, you have grain that is mixed with the chaff. Chaff is lighter than the grain. In times past, to separate the grain from the chaff, you needed a breeze. After the grain is thrashed, it was put in a basket. The contents were tossed up a little out of the basket. When the breeze caught the chaff, it would blow away. The grain, being heavier, would fall back into the basket. After a while, the only thing left in your basket was edible grain. Then you could pick out the insects and damaged grains that were not good to store. This time of year, it's important to find the grain among our year's worth of chaff. These experiences will nourish you through the beginning of the coming year. They must be freed from their coverings so that you can see the bounty that is yours from the past year's hard work. In the end, if you do not separate the grain from the chaff, you will not know the extent of your harvest. I urge you to find joy in your harvest, no matter its size. Feast upon the bounty of your life, no matter how small. By assessing your harvest from this year, you can make plans for the coming year. There will be other harvests. If you can share what you have, you will be doubly blessed. If you can appreciate both the good and the bad that you have harvested, you are well ahead of most people. If you can embrace the gifts that God has bestowed on you, be at peace. By embracing both the good and the bad with rejoicing, you are getting the most out of your studies in this life. It is all in your hands. I wish everyone a joyous harvest. I hope you have good reunions with your friends and family. Be careful if you're traveling. Be thankful for being a child of God. It is a bounty no one can take from you, but you can share with everyone. God bless the whole world, no exceptions. Angel Eliza.